What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in, and today we are talking the LeBron James Chalk Toss card. The infamous card Panini put out in 2024 with the Prizm set that has become very popular, and it's become very popular for good reason. You might be thinking, this player's been in the league 22 seasons. Why are we focusing an entire episode on one particular card? Well, I'll tell you what. First things first, they took a moment in time that is iconic in this particular player's career, captured it with the chalk suspended in the air, and printed it on a card, which to me, I'm not even a LeBron James collector. I don't know if I've ever owned a LeBron James card, but this is just one of those cards that you're just going to want to have in 10 years. A hobbyist, a collector, LeBron James fan, even though this is towards the end of his career, it's not his rookie season, it's not his season when he won a championship. It's just going to be something 10 years from now that people are still looking for, that still want to collect. Another point that I've heard people make, I don't know the significance of this necessarily, but this is Panini's last licensed basketball season. So, effectively, this is the last LeBron James Panini license card that's ever going to be printed, unless something happens in the future, but as of right now, that's what people are saying, and that is the way it's looking. Now, the significance of that with the imagery of this particular card, I think does hold significance. It's worth talking about. So let's get into it. I'm going to do a couple comparisons on if you're looking to own the actual physical card, or with being an NFT collector that I am solely, I want to bring you into the NFT world and see if maybe you want to start collecting the NFT variations as well. First things first, I promise we get into the gold shimmer. Now the gold shimmer, I know is above a lot of our price points, but I think it's a good place to start to show the significance of the price points that we're looking at between the physical world and the NFT world. If we go to the PSA pop report on these particular cards, it's surprising that there's not much. There's not much graded yet. I was actually pretty shocked. I thought there would be a lot more graded than there actually is. So as we go on, also in this video, I'm going to be looking at a couple raw cards compared to NFTs, but all very interesting stuff, all very good comparisons, and it will really put in perspective, if you are collecting this card or you're a LeBron James collector, why you should start looking at the NFT space as well to add to your collection for the future. First things first, the gold shimmer. The most recent sale I found was on eBay. It was May 18th, so it was very recent, 2 days ago. Closed at $8,400. There were 44 bids. I know, you and me don't have $8,400 lying around to purchase a raw card on eBay that we can't even inspect. But that just shows the popularity of this card to collectors. Now when you go to the NFT variation, it's all the way down at the bottom if I can find it. Okay, here we go. So the NFT variation is of 10, just like the physical. Now I'm not comparing a PSA 10 like I normally do to the NFTs. I'm just comparing I'm not comparing the PSA 10. This is a raw card. The number isn't significant. It's 3 out of 10. It's not a 1 or a 10. Obviously, it's not a jersey match. And it sold for $8,400, whereas right now the gold shimmer NFT has a floor price of $1,499. Now, still a lot of money, but in context, we're talking raw out of 10 with an NFT out of 10, and the price point is about 1/6 the cost that you can purchase right now. And that is, well, that's 1/6 the cost, and someone's actually selling the 10 of 10, which usually goes a premium. Someone's selling an 8 out of 10 for $14.99 as well. So the 10 out of 10 for $14.99, you get, just imagine if this particular, I just noticed that, that's a big deal. Just think if this was a 10 out of 10 that sold on eBay. $8,400 is probably not the price. We're probably looking at 11, 12,000 maybe. There's always about a 20% premium on a significant number, even 10,000. So $14.99 for a 10 out of 10. If you look at the sales history, it's probably less. someone bought the 10 out of 10 for $1,000, they're trying to flip it for, um, a few $100. That makes sense. I mean, when you look at the recent sales before that, $1,200 for a 9 out of 10, $1,250 for a 2 out of 10. There was a 1,500 that sold in March. That was a 7 out of 10. So you could actually purchase a 10 out of 10 for about the same price that the standard numbers are going for, which is pretty significant. That's pretty cool. Now again, 8,400, not a lot of us have that to spend on a card. 1,500 for an NFT, again, not a lot of us have to spend on it. But if you're looking at that card and you're a collector or you're a LeBron James fan and you're just thinking, that would be like one of those grails that I would love to have in my collection, well, come over to the NFT side. It's sitting here. You can get a 10 out of 10. You could try to negotiate for one of the other numbers at less than $14.99. It looks like the floor is probably around $12.50. You can always get it cheaper if you try. Maybe start at $1,000 and work your way up, or just get that 10 out of 10 because that's actually a pretty good price when looking at the comparable sales. But again, okay, let's take a look at some of the lesser value, but still great variations of this particular card and NFT. Now again, like I mentioned, the PSA Pop Report, there's not much going on here. There's really, I'm shocked. I'm truly shocked that there hasn't been more graded. We'll come back to that at the very end with the surprise silver insight that I have on this particular card. But what I found on eBay, just kind of skimming the recent sales, there was an of 48 raw that sold for $625. There was a of 150 Fast Break Blue raw that sold for $115, and there was an of 99 Blue Pulsar that sold for $299. So you're kind of starting to see a pretty good idea of, I mean, it's almost mathematically works out perfect where the of 99 was 300. You double the scarcity, you double the price, $625 for F48, and then the 150 again is almost splits the difference for $115 for the of 150. Again, all of these are raw cards, so we're not playing in the PSA 10s. I know those will bring a significant premium, but if we look at the NFT versions and we go to like a similar scarcity that we want to look at, so an of 49. So the F49 that we originally saw, even though it's not the same variation, which I know does hold significant weight because it's either a really cool variation or it's like a jersey color match, something along those lines. Of 49, this one sold for $625. You can have the same scarcity of 49 LeBron James in the orange wave, which for some reason with the NFT variations, I do love the orange variations. This particular card has a floor price of $100. So 1/6, same scarcity of the raw card. The sales history probably indicates you could even start with a lower bid. I mean, these were already in the 90 to 100. The last one sold for 75, which was just a couple days ago. So could you even get this card between $75 and $99? NFT? Probably, which is a great option. You could even go, for me personally, and again, in full transparency, I actually don't own one of these NFTs. I plan on owning one or a couple in the near future. I don't know which ones. So if you think that anything I'm saying actually resonates with you and you see something you like, feel free to jump in on it. If I miss out, so be it. This is just all about getting more collectors, more hobbyists involved in the NFT space in general, because I'm having a lot of fun with it. Way more fun than I did in the physical card world because of the transparency. And they're just beautiful. Like, there's a recent redesign that Panini did about 2 months ago of the NFTs themselves, and you can just see the animation that they have with the shimmer. And then with the white sparkle, this particular set in general, I mean, it just goes across the chalk, toss, and you can actually see it in the sparkles and in the transition of the translucent colors. I mean, it's just super cool cards. You can flip around to the back. Everything's transparent. says exactly what the supply is, and that's always what the supply will be. They're not going to mint more out of nowhere of this particular card. And this is the White Sparkle. If you watched these before, this is my favorite variation of any card. White Sparkle is kind of like my PC card. If I get a White Sparkle variation of it, there's a good chance I'm going to put that away and try to maybe collect and sell the other variations. This is a really cool card. Floor price is $450. It's of 17. So this price of $450 of 17 White Sparkle is cheaper than the of 48 Rock card that's $625. So you can start to kind of piece together that there's still some really good deals in this NFT space. I don't know that it's always going to be like this. To me, the modern card market is going to transition more into the NFT space because of the transparency and the ease of buying and selling on this marketplace. You don't have to worry about the print issues. You buy $1,000 box, you pull the card you want, and then you see the print is off and the cut is wrong, and you just got so excited and then so bummed at the same minute. Whereas with these NFTs, all of them are just beautiful, and they're cool to collect, and they're fun, and all you have to worry about is the scarcity and the price and having fun with it. If you go down further, you can even go into let's find a one. I mean, here's out of 119, that's similar, that's in between the of 99, that's 300, and the of 150, that's 115. And this floor price is $8. So we're talking 1/10 to 1/15 of the price for similar scarcity, and it's just a beautiful card, the Plum Blossom. If we go down further, the Tiger Stripes, if it was like a Spurs player, that Tiger Stripe, white Tiger Stripe would be pretty cool. Doesn't really hit with me. Here's the green Pulsar, or sorry, the Jade Dragon Scale. I'm sorry. So this one is the one that sold for $625 in the physical variation. There's of 48. This is of 211. So if you happen to like this variation, but you didn't have the $600 to buy it, the scarcity doesn't bother you too much, the floor price is $18. You can add this card to your collection for $18. And again, recent sales probably show you could probably start with even asking less. Now, there was a recent sale for $18, but there were also sales for $6, $13, $8, $10. So you could start at $10, $12, $8, and get that NFT in your collection very quickly. And then you go down, there's a lot of variations. There's not 51 like there is in the physical world, but there's enough. And they'll probably have gaming, they have games where if you burn certain cards, you can earn some other LeBron variations. Those will probably come in the months. And when those come, that even lifts the overall value of the other NFTs more, because the cost to play those games and collect the cards needed to get the other LeBrons are pretty pricey. And so once you add more money into this LeBron, card 130 ecosystem, everything starts to kind of funnel up in a positive way as well. And so last, what I want to touch upon that I thought was pretty interesting is the LeBron James Silver. So this is one of the base level cards. I mean, who knows how many are printed? I mean, we're talking thousands, I don't know, tens of thousands, maybe not tens of thousands, but there are a lot of these particular variations printed. Nobody really knows until they start being graded. Now, as of right now, there was, I believe, only 10 PSA 10s. There was a total of 30, so here we go. Total of 33. 10 of them are graded PSA 10, and then you go down the list after that, PSA 9, PSA 8. But if you look, a raw silver sold for $16.50 and $16. Now, I just kept this screenshot because it kind of laid everything out. I'm sure if I go back further, you'll see some that sold for 25, sold some for 10, I don't know. But the raw, let's just take it right now, is $16. The PSA 10 sold for $325. Now, in essence, if there's only a population of 10, I kind of understand that. That makes sense. But when you're dealing with a card, come on, card collectors, you've seen this a million times. The silver comes out, the first couple months or the first couple grades that get the 10 sell at a premium, and then all of a sudden every month that goes by you start to see the population's 20, the population's 30, the population's 40, and then it becomes where the card isn't selling for $325, the card's selling for maybe $50 or $60, and you don't even know what's to come from years from then. The raw card, I guess people are thinking, well, I could buy a $16 raw card, grade it for $18, $20, and hope if that PSA 10 comes in, I just 10x'd my money. For right now, that makes sense, but again, we know that we have to expect more Gem Mint 10s coming. So if we take this same ideology and we apply it to the NFT market, then we can start at the base levels of NFTs, because again, all of these are numbered. They're all minted. So if we went to, let's see, one of the less scarce, but also in all things considered pretty scarce, 207. So there's 207 of this LeBron James, and the floor price is $8. You could probably get it for less. This one, the PSA, or not the PSA, just the standard raw card silver is $16. And we don't know how many. We can all agree that there might be thousands of these that are printed. So you're paying $16 for a card that's going to be consistently popping up as more packs are ripped or more people send them in to be graded, more shows happen. Or you can get an NFT that almost has like a color match to it. It's pretty cool for $8 with a scarcity of 207 ever to be minted. Well, to me, I mean, again, I love the transparency of it. Not only the look and the feel of it, I love the transparency of it. I love that I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and there's not going to be 210 or 220. So the more collectors, the more hobbyists come into the NFT space, the more these things are going to start to get real. And it should. Right now, I don't know if that card should even be selling for or that NFT should be selling for $5. Considering what the physical card is selling for. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, does it make sense to you? That's what you have to ask yourself. That's what this video is about. That's what I'm trying to bring to you. I'm trying to make you ask yourself, does this make sense? I love the physical world of cards. I watch and consume a lot of the content. I do think that there is a coupling where what's going on in the physical world does impact what's hot and what sells in the NFT world. But again, how long will that last for? I guess it just depends on how many of you decide to participate in this NFT market, and we'll see what happens. Lastly, here is the exact card. This is the LeBron James Silver. This is the card we just looked at that was selling for $16, where we all agree that there's probably thousands printed. Don't know how many will be graded or for what numbers, but you know, they are being sold at a premium right now for the PSA 10s. This particular card has a total mint of 424. So, do we believe that the physical world has 424 raw silvers printed? No, I don't think so. I think we think that there's probably more of those. If so, the floor price of this is $5. So again, I'm reaching out to the hobbyists and the collectors, people who love these cards. If you can get the same product that, in my opinion, doesn't have to be your opinion, my opinion actually looks better when you look at it on screen, way cooler, with the transparency and the scarcity that beats the physical card, and you're looking at prices. As of now, I don't know if this is how it's going to be next year, but as of now, you can buy 4 almost for the price of 1. Why wouldn't you just look at this? Why wouldn't you just get involved? Just take a look. You know, I will continue to show you. Hopefully you follow along. I would like you to subscribe, leave any comments.